What's up guys, it's Kelly and today I am partnering up with Starly Nail Polish to bring you 4 super easy springy nail art looks. And this video is coming at a perfect time because I just got some exciting news from Starly. They're now offering my followers a 10% discount code on all of their polishes, so you can use the code Kelly to get 10% off. I will link that down in the description below. All of these are super shimmery and holographic and super fun, and I think you guys are going to really like them, and they're going to make your nails feel a little bit brighter and get you excited for the upcoming season. So let me just get started with the first look. So for this look, I am using the Guardian Base Coat, Bean Toes, Aphrodite, Clockwork Roses, the Cats Meow, and Nala, all from Starly. I'm also going to be using the Antimatter Top Coat. I am also going to be using a tiny little dotting tool, and I promise it was clean when I used it, but it's dirty now because I did use it. So I'm just starting off with my clean natural nail and applying a nice coat of base coat, and then once that's dry, I'm going in with the color Bean Toes. I love this as a base color for nail art because it's just so soft and subtle, but it does have that really intense, vibrant fuchsia shimmer in it, as well as a little bit of subtle holographic sparkle. So if you guys aren't seeing the holo right now, I feel like it's kind of hard with my indoor lighting, but don't worry, a couple of these looks I am showing you a little peek of how it looks in natural sunlight, which I feel like is where holo really shines. So I'm taking the color Aphrodite and I'm putting it on a little piece of scrap paper, and I'm taking that dotting tool, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make a bunch of tiny little flowers in random spots all over my nail. So the way I do that is I start with one simple dot where I want the center of my first flower to be, and then I do 5 little dots all around it. So this to me is the easiest technique for doing any type of flower on your nails, and you can do it with any size dotting tool. For this particular look, I wanted it to almost be like a bunch of random flowers on my nails, so I figured I would use all small dots for it, but you can also actually change up the sizes if you want some of the flowers to be small and some of the flowers to be big. Actually, now that I think about it, I kind of want to do that on my own nails, so I might try that next. And I want to make sure to leave some space for the other 2 colors that I am going to be using for my flowers. Next, I'm going to take the color Clockwork Roses, and I'm going to do the same thing, just put it out on a piece of scrap paper, and then take a dotting tool and kind of start to fill in those areas. But I am doing 3 different colors, so it is important to leave enough space for extra flowers with the other colors. One thing that I do want to suggest is starting off with the color that you want the most flowers in, because there's a chance you might not have enough room for more flowers as you go on with more colors. So for me, I knew that my darkest color was going to be kind of the most intense, and therefore I wanted it to almost be like a little bit of an accent, so I did that one last. So now I'm just going in with this really gorgeous cool toned purple, the Cats Meow, and like I said, this is my darkest color, so I kind of wanted there to be the least amount of these flowers, so I'm not doing too much of them. Another great tip is just to make sure that you're kind of continuing the design off of your nail. You don't always want your nails to just have the full pattern without going off and expanding beyond your nail. So sometimes I'll just do like a little half flower here and there. Either I'll do 1 dot and then I'll do like 3 dots around it, or sometimes I'll just make a little blob because it's not like people can tell the difference when it's going off your nail. So once you've got this down, you can choose to do a little center dot. I'm using the color Nala, and again, that same little dotting tool, and I'm just popping that into the center of each of my little flowers. Now, I feel like this is really the key to making it go from kind of cute little blobs to being actual flowers on your nails, but of course this isn't a required step. If you like them being a little bit more abstract, you totally don't have to add the centers. I personally love using this color because I feel like it kind of shifts based on what color you're putting it over, because it has that really intense green shimmer in it, but it's like in a really soft peachy base. So I don't know, I feel like it makes them look like real flowers. Once I am done, I am just going to pop on a nice thick coat of my glossy top coat. This is the Antimatter Top Coat from Starly, which I am totally obsessed with. I really love the way this design looked indoors. I thought it was so cute. I love how all of the shimmers kind of match up with each other, even though they're all a little bit different. I actually really wanted to show you guys some of that holographic sparkle in there because, like I said, I feel like it's hard to see some of that holo when I am doing my nails indoors. So luckily the sun was kind of peeking out at this moment, so I wanted to show you guys. So here it is in sunlight, and this is just on my iPhone, and no, there's no filter on this. I know there's like a filter that makes things sparkle like that, but that was honestly just because I put cuticle oil on my nails and then I kind of got it on my camera. But hopefully you guys can see some of that gorgeous holo sparkle and that really vibrant pink shimmer. So now I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of my favorite tricks for a glitter placement manicure using these super gorgeous holographic star glitters. I'm going to be using the Guardian base coat once again, and I'm also using this gorgeous shade Catnip and the shade Starry Night, which is a glitter topper. So top coat is optional for this one. Because this is a glitter topper, I'm going to skip it, but you can totally add it if you want to. So once again, just starting off with my clean natural nail and applying a nice coat of base coat, and then once that's dry, I'm going in with the shade Catnip. And this one's actually really similar to Clockwork Roses. It's a little bit more of a teal shade, and it has that really intense like golden shimmer throughout it, and this one's actually a touch more holographic. So I thought this would be a really good base for some glitter placement and for some super hollow colors going on. So this is actually a really simple technique, but it's one of my favorites for doing glitter placement. When you have a gorgeous polish that has like a bunch of different sizes, sometimes when you regularly apply it, you just don't get all of those fun glitters on it. So what I like to do is dab some out onto a piece of scrap paper, and then I take a toothpick or an orange wood stick, and what I'll do is I will fish out some of the glitters that I like, and I will place them onto my dry nail. So the way that I do this is I just kind of pick the different sizes and the colors, and I kind of place them where I want to have them. Now with this top coat, there's actually like a bunch of tiny little shimmers in here as well, and smaller hex glitters, and if you just do glitter placement and then apply your top coat, you're gonna miss out on doing that. So what I like to do is after I have applied all of those, sometimes I'll go in and I'll like grab a couple of larger hex glitters just because I want those to be placed as well, and sometimes it's hard for the brush to pick those up, but once I've got everything down exactly where I want it to be, I'll actually take the polish again and I'll just use the bottle brush, dip it in there, and then sometimes I'll look just to make sure I don't have any huge glitters on there, and I'll apply it almost like it's a hollow top coat. So what this does is it actually applies all of those tiny little micro glitters and smaller shimmers that are in there, and it also helps to seal in the design and make it look really gorgeous. So again, I don't need top coat for this because I am using the glitter as a topper and sealing in that design with that top coat that's also got glitter in it. But if you do feel like you want another layer just of protection and to make your nails last longer, you can always throw on a topper. But I absolutely love doing glitter placement this way. It's always easier to place those larger glitters first, because if you go in with a coat of the topper first, sometimes you squish down the larger glitters and it just makes it look a little bit uneven. So always start with the bigger glitters and then apply that nice protective coat over it once you're done, and just add those little bits of sparkle to it. So moving on to one of my favorite spring designs, this is a simple hollow French manicure. I am going to be using Magic Rainbow as well as the Antimatter Top Coat. You don't need anything else for this, and basically we're just going to paint onto our naked nail with the bottle brush and just draw a line across the free edge of our nail. This is the base for what's going to be a French manicure using holographic polish. This is my favorite way to do a French manicure. I actually have a full video on it, but this is just kind of a quick version of that. What I'm doing is taking a small little brush. I use a concealer brush from e.l.f. and what I do is I clean up any areas that are on my skin, because when you're painting with the bottle brush it can be a little bit thick, and then I will start to remove some of that nail polish with acetone on my nail and smooth out that edge. So I'm very slowly working until I actually create a French tip by removing any excess nail polish. It's such an easy trick. You really don't need any skill, you don't need a steady hand, you're just kind of working really slowly until you get a nice French tip, and then you're absolutely done. And you don't even need base coat for this. I just go in with a nice thick coat of glossy top coat, and then I've got the perfect French tips. You can do this with any color you want. You can even do this with glitter if you want to sponge that on and then kind of push it down with the acetone. But I love the way this turned out. This is one of the most holographic polishes I own, but of course it didn't look super hollowy in my unnatural lighting. So here it looks in the sunlight, and you can just see all of that super gorgeous hollow sparkle. Again, totally had that cuticle oil on the camera, so it's a little bit more sparkly looking, but I absolutely love the way this turned out. Okay, so I saved my favorite for last. I know on first glance this doesn't seem like a springy manicure, but those of us who love our dark vampy colors deserve to have some fun spring nail art too, and I feel like this is a perfect compromise with some bright glitter, but also having those gorgeous dark nails. So for this one, once again, I'm using the Guardian base coat, Starly Vantablack, this flaky polish Alchemy, which is actually discontinued discontinued, but they do have a very similar one called Enchanted, as well as the Matter Top Coat. So once more, I am just starting off with my clean natural nail and applying my base coat, and then once that's dry, I'm going in with the Vantablack. So this is a one coat black cream. I just recently did a video for you guys on my favorite black cream nail polishes, and this is one of my absolute favorites in the world. As you can see, it just applies so easily. Once that is dry, I'm going to go in with the Matter Top Coat, which is an incredible matte top coat from Starly. I feel like it's one of the most matte ones that I've ever used, which I think is perfect for this design. As it dries, it gets more and more matte, which I think is just so cool. So I'm just going to take this color Alchemy and I'm going to brush it out onto a piece of scrap paper, and I'm taking a large dotting tool this time. And what I'm going to do is just a few dots across the center of my nail, not in an exact row. We're going to be creating these sort of drips, and drips aren't always in the same spot, so we kind of want it to be a little bit different on each nail. And I'm going to take a tiny little detail brush and I'm going to create little lines from that towards the free edge of my nail. This one's a little bit tough to describe, but basically what we're doing is we're creating this illusion of this super gorgeous kind of unicorny color dripping onto our matte nails, and it's going to be a really nice contrast with a really sparkly glossy color compared with that matte black. So once you've got sort of a lollipop looking thing, basically the goal is to create a teardrop shape by just kind of adding on to those edges until you have a smooth, seamless drip. It's easier than it looks, I promise. It really doesn't take that much skill. You're just kind of creating those little stick lollipops and then connecting them. And then the next step is to just create like a little base for where those drips are coming from by creating small little lines at the free edge of your nail and connecting them. I know that I'm not doing a great job describing this. It's kind of difficult to describe, but hopefully the visuals are helping you guys out. So it's really easy to work with this color because even though it does have that incredible flake to it that just kind of shifts colors depending on what you're using it over, it is super glossy and a little bit thicker, so it creates this almost 3D effect on your nails, which I'm absolutely obsessed with. Of course, we are not going to add any top coat to this because you want to have that stark difference between the matte black and the glossy Alchemy. So that is the final design. I hope you guys like it. I hope you love these 4 designs. Let me know in the comments below which is your favorite of the 4, and if you want to see more videos like this, please give this one a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe if you're not already subscribed to my channel. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!